I'm sitting here under the full moon, beside the river, because I felt called to drive here after having what some would call a meltdown. I basically became hysterical. I'm tired of my life the way it is. I have a spiritual rage burning inside of me. And I think that the pressure just became so intense that I might have just crystallized. But I am angry. I am angry tonight because of the way things are. For those soft and sensitive types here on Earth who don't have any earthly power. We're kept in mental institutions and in homeless shelters. And on other levels, we're seen as losers, as lazy, we're the artists, we're the vagrants. The older generations, they gave up so much to have a family. They gave up their dreams to raise the new Starchildren. And a lot of the Starchildren are not creating. They can't. They were brought in here so tender. And I could see their souls, and I feel them, and I feel my own. And I watch as this body clenches its fist and tries to make a living. So many of us don't look like we're suffering. Our lives are okay on paper. Some aren't. Mine's not. I've been in a lot of legal trouble. Been in trouble with the police. I was committed to a mental institution. I have fought authority while simultaneously having utmost respect for it. Because I want to believe in a system. I love system, but not when it's not working. And I'm not talking about a political system. I'm going much more beyond that. It's the system that suppresses the divine feminine. And that's not a man and a woman. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about suppression of the divine feminine. All the soft things in the world. The abstract things. The intangible. The things that are hard to understand. The chaos. The negative space. We worship the positive space. We don't understand there's a sea of thought and energy and emotions and soft things. And soft people who can feel these things that are invisible. And it makes us look crazy. And it makes us crazy. And we want so badly to fit in. I can feel the underlying thoughts and emotions when people talk. any tinge of ego or judgment, just, it rubs me so raw. Or even just the subtle encouragement to not listen to your feelings. Compounded by that all my life. By men that I love. And women too. And I know they don't mean to hurt. But they do. With every sneer and judgment, it ripples across. And everybody's doing it. So many people, even in the spiritual community, just ripples of judgment and hate. It's like a grid that I can see. I lose track of this dimension so easily. I see mostly with my third eye these days. So many visions come to me. I'm like on an acid trip without any drugs. And I don't even know what an acid trip is like. But from what I've read and from what I've heard, that's just simply how I experience life. I mean, if only I could have a projector from my mind and show you how I perceive the world. I think it would blow people's minds. In a good way. That's why I'm an artist. That's why I'm a musician. And I've been pushing my way through the density. Trying to do what I'm supposed to do. Trying to make a way for myself. Beaten down by depression. The constant desire to kill myself. No, don't talk about that. Shh. Don't talk about that. Nobody wants to hear about your sadness and how you can't stand the world and how you want to die, because then the responsibility's in their hands, then somehow they're supposed to save your life. And I know that's a burden nobody wants. I know. And that's why I keep it to myself most of the time. And I just sit and I suffer in pain. I walk around and I do everything I'm supposed to do, and it's all just below the surface. Just below that normal girl. A pinprick can send me in a downward spiral. I'm not well adjusted. I don't think anybody should be. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how some people, they find a way to create their lives. They break through something, some barrier. Or maybe they were born into a family of privilege and wealth, and they were able to affect thousands, millions even. And meanwhile, there's all these empaths and indigo children just wasting their lives away, trying not to kill themselves. A lot of us do drugs to escape the pain. I know I'm tempted. But I'd rather feel the realness of pain than feel disoriented. I mean, it's gotta be real bad. Every once in a while, I will seek out some relief. But I guess ultimately I don't really want relief. I used to think that death was relief. I'm not so sure about that. Because I have nightmares every night. Just about. Really horrible ones. And I don't know that if I'm just gonna go to some nightmare hell and just be stuck to resolve all my unresolved issues. So fine. Fine! Life has pushed me into a corner. And I don't know what to do. So I'm just talking to an invisible audience. I've imagined all the gods and fairies and spirits of benevolence. I've demanded an audience here at the river under this almost full moon. And I am feeling very intense emotion running through my body, and I'm using it for some reasons that I'm not fully understanding. But I have pure power running through me right now, and it's emotion. And it's in my heart. I can feel it. It's centered in my heart. And it kind of hurts. And I could choose to just relax. Maybe, yeah. But no, I think it's something. I think it's a power source. And I am on the brink of crying and screaming at the same time. And my hands... There's something in there. I'm conducting something. And I'm staring at the stars. And I'm talking to them, and I'm saying, I'm talking to you. And I'm staring at my invisible audience. It's a horizon of blue beings. Thousands of them. Gods. Mythical creatures. Spirits. The plants, the animals. The river. The river is an entity. And the river has something to do with it because it carries information. It carries power. What I'm saying tonight, what I'm using this energy for, is I want these other dimensional beings in God to choose, to make a deliberate decision, to not use the cosmic truth of the universe here on Earth, because here on Earth in this third dimension, we can't work like it works in macrocosm. This is microcosm. There are human problems. And you cannot say anymore that, oh, the light and the darkness. You have to love everything. It all works together. Unity. That's beautiful. But it's not helping us. So you need to choose. You need to make decisions. You need to seek out the souls. You need to look into them, and you need to see their futures. And you need to empower them and give them what they need to create. whatever resistance they have, whatever karma they have, whatever blockages, all that human shit, just get rid of it. Bypass the system, because the system's not working. And I'm not so sure that that was God's system. I'm not so sure about all the spiritual gurus. I'm not so sure. You need to choose light. There's too much suffering. You need to choose the people who will bring light to this earth, and you need to give them what they need. They need tools, they need resources, and they need power. Earth power. Spiritual power means nothing here. Only in very small communities. It's not enough. It's not enough to really affect change. Too many lives are gonna go. Too many gifts will be wasted because they weren't empowered. Because they were so soft, they could feel everything. The world just moved through them. And their potential will just be gone. Because time here is so short. And just now I saw a flare in the sky. And a flare. I don't know what it was. I thought it was a star, but then it started to move. And I was watching it to see if it would move in a linear fashion because there's an airport near here, but it just slowly faded away. And now there's nothing there. So they're here. They're listening. Good. Good. More of you come. Listen to me. Come, listen to me. I don't know who I am or where I came from, but I feel really fucking important. Because I've been watching my thoughts and my emotions and my actions for my whole life, and I know that there's something different about me. And I know that there's others out there like me, and we need to be lifted up. I'm talking resources, status, power, money, the things that the earthlings will listen to. Don't ask us to live a life of spirituality anymore. Not in the way that we have understood it, at least. We need to bridge the gap. Really bridge it. We've all been waiting. So many of us have been trying. There's too much greed. We can't go by the standard. The only way that we know, that we've been taught to work hard, to find these terrible jobs that kill our spirit. Our neural patterns have been fixated, that we're lazy somehow, but I know we're not. We're just not being given the proper outlet. I know there's voltage in there. We just need the right speakers. But so many of us are ill. We're ill. We're psychically ill. It's all we can do to get out of bed. Put on pants that are cold. We're too sensitive. We can't fight that kind of fight. And I need you to not make us anymore. Don't make us fight. We didn't come here to be soldiers. The world doesn't need more soldiers. We need artists, teachers, lovers, storytellers, performers. Raise us up. Give us a voice. Just give it to us. Don't make us fight anymore. Don't make us scrape by. It's almost too late. It's almost too late, and you need to just cut us a break. Raise us up. Raise us up. Give us a voice. Give us power. Give us status. Give us whatever we need to bridge the gap. We're here as beacons. We're beacons. We're all spread out. That's why we're all so lonely. Because we can't see each other. We can't feel each other. Being used as tools for this cosmic expansion. And we don't want to be used anymore. We have ideas. We can be leaders. But we cannot fight and scrape by and survive anymore because this world is sick. And our greatest power is also our greatest downfall. So you need to just cut us a break. Do you hear me, Moon? Do you hear me, Moon? And stars and river. I'm broadcasting. I am broadcasting all of this energy. Sending a stream right to you. That's right, you're going to listen to me. And the stars and the river, you're going to carry this information and you're going to make this happen. You're going to make this happen. Tomorrow. This full moon. I reject all the formal teachings. I reject all the things I've learned about how things are supposed to work. I have studied and I have come up with my own way. And you're going to give it to me. And you're going to give it to all the souls that are like me. Seek out those souls. And you find a way. You find a way to give it to us. Release us from our suffering. Free our hands so that we can create. and be surrounded in beauty and gentle environments where we can create and do the beautiful things that we were born to do and that generations before us were born to do and maybe weren't able to. We have so much to offer. Hear us. Let the world hear us. Let the world see us rise. Let us prove everybody wrong. Let them hear our stories from how we rose. Let them know that to be like us is an asset, not a downfall. That sensitivity and emotions and an absolute repulsion to hatred and ego, those are assets. That's the future of the world. That's what everyone should be striving to be. And anyone who's like that should be put up on a fucking pedestal. Not shunned. We're not the fools of society. Bring back the oracles. We have wisdom. We can see beyond the veil. The empaths are the oracles. The empaths are the oracles. The empaths are the oracles. We understand things, we see things that most people can't see. And we're not making it up for attention. The reaction should not be, ew. What do you see things that aren't there? Ew. You fools! You fools! You foolish men! If we say we can see and feel things that are not there, you should look at us in awe and say, wow, teach me. How can I see what you see? Help me. Heal me. Intuit for me. Those on the bottom need to rise to the top. Rise to the top. That's what needs to happen. And don't you ask us to learn any more lessons for you. Don't you ask us to tear our hearts and our souls apart. We're not your servants anymore. No more. No more. I am done suffering for this world. I am done. I have ideas. I have good ideas. I have an energy that is unique. People like me need to be calling the shots for big, important things here on Earth. Give us a platform to make a real difference. Choose light.